Party people. Tony Rowe. Rapid game number 72, I think. I hope my sound is recording. I didn't check. Against thx31. The good old provisional. Completely unrated at anything else. What could go wrong? We have a King's Indian or a Grünfeld. What's it going to be? Castles. Now he's thinking. Hope everyone's doing all right. Dang it. I really prefer to play against the King's Indian relative to the Grünfeld. That kind of stinks. All right, I'll play the main line, which is c4. Like I said, hope everyone's doing all right. I am working. I'm also trying to upgrade my stream setup here. I bought a new camera. You probably can't tell. And I bought a mic arm, which also you cannot tell. And I bought a light which has not arrived yet, and I'm also going to change out the lights. I don't know. Yeah, you can't see. There's a light up there, you know, for the room. It sucks. It's gross. I think they're CFLs. They're hideous. Find something that renders color a little bit better. I look really bad on this webcam right now. I have to change it. I'm just trying to make it look more professional, more legit. I'd like to change my actual screen, you know, the crap that you see here and here. It's really just a screen capture of the Lee Chess website. Bishop f5 is weird. I want to go queen b3. That's my first thought, of course. Just attacking b7, working up some pressure here. Maybe knight c3 first. I don't know that much about these positions. But yeah, I bought a light. I want to change my actual presentation a little bit. I'd even like to do a live stream at some point, but that's all in the future. I want a new YouTube banner, a new professional looking thumbnails for all my videos. If you know a graphic designer, anyone who watches my channel, if you're a graphic designer, I would love to pay you to do some stuff for me. That would be amazing. I already asked my best chess friend ever, and he shut me down. You know who you are. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm looking for. I don't know what I want, but I'm looking to pay someone to make my channel look a little bit better. I'm not going pro or anything. I just care about what I do, you know. H3 actually comes to mind. I think I'm going to do that. I'm threatening very simply to trap the bishop. G4, bishop e4, f3, for instance, would win a piece. H5 wouldn't totally shock me, but I'm just asking him what he's doing with this thing. Yeah. And I'm going to maybe go bishop g5. And insist. Just wondering what happens after bishop g5, queen b6. It's actually not so simple after queen b6 because bishop g5, queen b6. If g4 right away, h takes g4. And if h takes g4, then he can take with a knight because it's no longer pinned to the queen. The queen isn't here. And so I'd have to go bishop g5, queen b6, g4, h takes g4, bishop takes f6 first. But even then, bishop takes f6, h takes g4, bishop e5 in between move. And then if d takes e5, bishop takes g4. I'm just wondering, like, bishop g5, queen b6, can't go rook b1, queen d2. It's possible he goes knight e4. I don't know if that's even bad for me, really. Knight e4, bishop takes here. Maybe more comfortable for white. I don't know. I can also play the very stodgy move e3, threatening g4. Very simple. You could go knight b to d7 in that case, probably. So how do I build some pressure? Well, let's go here and see what happens. I think this is a very natural move anyway. I've spent too much time. My girlfriend's getting ACL surgery on Thursday. That'll be interesting. Not for me. Yeah, I think queen b6 is the move I'm most worried about. Knight d7, knight b to d7. He's not really even threatening to take it. I mean, it's possible in that case I can just go g4, h takes, knight e5. Yeah, d e5, and then the knight is pinned. So that's not super exciting. So knight b to d7, g4, I'm guessing. Knight c6, same basic thing. Yeah, it feels like queen b6 is the move. I just need to find a clever answer. There's b3 is very simple. I don't know if it's good, but it's simple. Knight a4 is possible. Queen d2 is possible. It's even possible to go something real simple like e3, maybe. And if queen b2, knight a4... maybe not queen c2 in that case. Queen b6, I can also just go queen b3, queen takes b3, a takes b3. Probably not so bad for me. I'm guessing he'd go knight b to d7. Really? What's the trick here? g4. Oh, is there queen b6 at the end? What a rascal. So g4, maybe his idea is g4, h takes g4, h takes g4, knight e5, d takes e5. No, it doesn't make any sense. What the hell am I talking about? Wait, g4. So, oh yeah, maybe bishop e4 first. Yeah, that's probably... Well, does that work? No, so I was thinking g4, h takes g4, h takes g4, let's say. Bishop e4, f3, knight takes e5, d takes e5, queen b6. Let's just say king h1, queen takes b2. But knight a4, I mean, what the heck does he do there? And he's still got this hanging. I could even take on f6 there, I think. What am I missing? Is this painfully obvious to me? What's happening? Okay, so g4, bishop e4, I must go f3, essentially. Beat me. Beat me if you want. What am I missing? By the way, if you guys have not been checking out the Russian charity tournament on Lichess, you for sure should, because it's sweet. Fiona and I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name, Miro. People call him Miro. I think it's like Evgeny Mirozhnitchenko or something. People call him Miro. Are doing a really good job with commentary. It's totally free. It's on Lichess, and like Someone in the comments today, the chat was like, this could be the Russian championship, and it literally could be. All of these, like the best Russian players from every region of Russia are playing for their region for charity money. So like Svidler's playing for St. Petersburg, Kramnik's playing for Moscow. No, Grishchuk's playing for Moscow. Was he going to go d4? I don't think I care. Yeah, it's really good. It's the chess is pretty high quality, well worth checking out. So yeah, check that out if you can. Yeah, I mean, piece is a piece, right? I don't really see any reason why I wouldn't trade down here. Maybe I should go bishop h6 instead. I don't think so. I was literally just thinking about the move e4 here. It's a small problem with that move. I think I'm going to go queen d3. Point being, I'm unpinning the e-pawn, and I'm also getting ready to like swing it over to like something like the g3 square. I think it's just a useful development of Her Majesty. Can't go e5, build that big center because of knight d5. Can't really go d4, I think, because knight e4 would be an improvement for me. I also have this kind of lurking, not at the moment, but you know, now something like queen g5, queen g3, I'm not super scared. He doesn't have any bishop h3 stuff anymore. I'm just, you know, I'm locking it down. He might go king g7, honestly. Just try and use the h file. I have to get this knight into the game somehow, like. Yeah. I think I'm going to go queen g3, hit the bishop. And then I'm ready to go e4. And what I really want to do is go e4, d4, e5 in between move. That way my knight scoots into this awesome e4 square next. And I think I'm going to go e4. He can pseudo win a pawn with this. I'm not impressed. I can take with a bishop also. Point being is that I have like rook b1, rook b7 at the end. I think that's always going to favor me, but I think I might actually take with the bishop, or do I even care really? I'll take with the bishop. I'll see. I'm honestly shocked that he took on e4, though. What a greedy, greedy man you are. Have you no shame, sir? Okay. I could go queen c3 and just trade the queens, but I don't think I want to do that yet. I think I'm just going to go here. Don't care at all if he takes here. I'll probably go queen e5 check, and I'm guessing I'm just straight up winning there. If I were him, I'd play something like queen d4. I think you sort of have to gain a tempo on this knight because, and stay on this diagonal. If you let me play queen e5 check or like take on b7, you're going to be in a world of hurt here. Yeah, that is 100% the best move. How do I budge this guy from this diagonal permanently? Go rook e1. Let's just say he goes b6. What do I do? Rook a to d1 then? That wouldn't be bad. Yeah, let's just do that. He'd probably have to go to b2, I'm guessing, and then maybe rook d2. And then he'd be kicked off all of the squares. I mean, my piece coordination and harmony is like overwhelming here, so I feel like I just have to find the knockout blow at this point. It's going to start with getting my queen to one of these squares. I mean, my rook is hopping into d7 too, so something like queen b2, rook d2, queen b4, queen e5. I think f6 is probably unplayable due to rook d7 check. Rook f7, queen f6 check would be hilarious. Queen b2, rook d2. I don't know. Queen b5 stops queen e5 check. That might be a move. That might be a line. I have queen c3 there, but then he has e5. Queen b5, huh? Maybe there's something better than rook d2 also. Rook d2 seems awfully natural though, doesn't it? Unfortunately, I just don't have that much time. I'm just going to play this. Yeah, queen b5. He's defending well. Anyway. Queen c3, e5, knight d6, I'm thinking, is good. I'm just going to play that. I don't have a lot of time, and it seems good. I don't think he can let me just take this check or like take with the rook hitting the queen. I think he probably has to go here. Looks ugly though. Problem is, as far as pawns go, he's managed to trade off a lot of them. So, especially being left with just an a pawn, like if he manages to trade off, I don't know, this f pawn for like one of these pawns, even if I win, let's say the e5 pawn, c5 pawn, it's still tricky to actually win this with just an a pawn up a piece. Stands to reason maybe I go something like queen g3. Yeah, I'm just going to take this. How do I lose after this? I can't. And I'll be able to speed up my play a little bit. And I think the problem for him is that he cannot actually protect the c5 pawn. So he goes there and just checks it. To activate his dudes, I'm fine with it. I'm going to go knight d6. Hopefully dropping in here. You can't go rook d8 because of knight f5 check. My rook on d2 is actually very good at protecting my remaining pawns. Yeah, I think that is a good move. I still think he really does not want to go rook d8, knight e4 check. Yeah, king e7, rook a7 check would win everything. My idea is to swing over to here. Maybe I should have gone rook d3 instead. Guessing he's going to go rook e8. I'm probably... Maybe I should just go f3. This allows rook c2, but it seems risky for him to do that. I'm wrong, apparently. He does not care. My rooks are kind of placed sort of dumb here, aren't they? Yeah, a little bit. I'm going to go rook a3. At some point, he might try and go f5. I will probably go to the c3 square. Looking to just hop in here. I was looking to hop in here. That's not going to happen. Maybe I just go here now and again renew this kind of idea. It's actually a little bit hard to make progress. Maybe now my knight can come to c5. I just don't have a lot of time, as usual. This would be much easier if I just had one rook. Like the double rooks makes it a lot harder, so if I could trade a set of rooks, that would be super useful for me. Like rook b5 here might be annoying. Yes. Okay, now I get to trade a set off, which is nice. Now what is the best square for my knight? I'm going to go rook a6 just to cut the king off a little bit. Again, I have to find sort of the best placement of the rest of my pieces, though. Maybe a4 and then put my knight on b5 is strong, isn't it? You can go rook d3. Maybe now I don't even have to go knight to b5. I should keep maybe my knight a little bit closer to my king. Okay, he's going to force me to do that, so I will. Now I'm going to go rook a7, pretty much against anything. Maybe in this case I'll go knight a7. Nothing fancy is really necessary here. I'm just going to go knight c6, a5. The rook protects my knight, knight protects my pawn, then I'll go rook b6. Then a6, a7 follows very easily without me having to do anything, so. I'll take this check because he has to go back to g7. Then I'll go a5. He'll probably go rook c1. Yeah, I'll just go back. I've gained a move, though. Yeah, rook b6. Now a6, a7. Almost pre-move. Spite check. Getting there. Just slow. Endgame technique is slow. You just have to grind them down. Okay, I am going to go just a6. a7. a7, king d7, rook b8. What does he do? I think just pretty much resigns. King c6, a8, etc. Unfortunately for him, it's check too, so he has to trade off. That's gonna be it, boys and girls. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at that one. Oh man. Tony Rose YouTube games. I got a lot of studies, you can see. Some top secret ones. All right. Yeah, this is tricky. For me anyway. I always have a harder time playing against a Grünfeld than the King's Indian. I really cannot express how much I love playing 6b3 against the King's Indian. It's just, I have a good score. The positions call to me on a deep emotional level. But okay, I haven't found that yet against the Grünfeld. You can see, I don't know, can you see? Yeah, a little bit. On my on this pile of slop. I just bought this book. You can see it. Oh my god, I just totally wrecked my mic. Alright, you can see it? Yeah, keep it simple 1d4. It covers this line a little bit. I believe Christoph's recommendation is like c6 and then b3 here. He's got some ideas. Like the main line is this, here, queen b6, then I think he goes queen c1, but I haven't had a chance to look at this all that much yet. My main objection to this system is that I just hate having this like this c-pawn, like this structural weakness, but I think I just maybe have to get over it. But it's just hard to find a good line against the Grünfeld. My intention was to go into something like this. Almost everyone plays, like when I play this line, C takes d5, C takes d5, knight e5. The point really is to get, like I said, a structure like knight c6, knight c3, e6, and then takes. And you're looking to play against this pawn and with this c5 square. So like moves like knight a4, bishop f4, or bishop e3. Bishop f4, sometimes you just hop into this square to try and trade dark squared bishops. When all of black's pawns are on light squares, it makes sense to trade off the dark square bishops. That leaves the c5 square super weak. That leaves this bishop kind of bad. And this is what you're looking for. The problem is that after knight e5, knight g4 is pretty equal. Like, pretty equal. So I intended to play this move, which is interesting. But I don't think it maybe leads to that much for white, but nothing really does against the Grünfeld. It's just a good opening. You can also try and get to the same style of positions by going knight c3 first, and then against knight c6 going knight e5, which is tricky. Tricky little transposition. The problem is if you go knight c3, knight e4 now. Is black basically does the same thing to you that you were trying to do to him. And then it's just hard to find a dangerous move here. I think, how does the line go? I can't remember. Knight e5, knight c3, bc, knight c6, takes, and then here. And after queen b6, bishop a3, queen a6, and then there's like, you can see it. You can see that just like every game is drawn here. It's like, it's very equal. So, yeah, that's the tricky part with this CD5 line, but very, very rarely do people at my level know that knight e5 should be met by knight g4. So I get a lot of very reasonable games by going this way. Okay, and h3, yeah, I think this move is just good. And this is a very common pattern to look for, like look out for in your games when you have this like d4, d5 structure. A lot of people, which it makes sense, try and get the light squared bishop out of the pawn chain before they play e6, because like, you know, on this square it's tough to get that activated. The problem is, and that's totally fine, the problem is when you mix it with g6, bishop g7, because this bishop, once you play e6 and g6, is locked onto this square, and it's very dangerous, because now g4 just threatens to win it, bishop e4, f3, so I'll leave that annotated. So he's sort of compelled to go h5. I'll tell you what I didn't look at, this move, because it's hideous, but it's not bad. Geez, I mean, there's actually no move, is there? Now that Stockfish points it out, there's actually like no move. I'm just trying to see like what the heck do you do here if you're black. The most obvious move that does not lose a piece is g5, except it just loses a pawn, and it's horrific. So, yeah, this is a pretty powerful threat. And after queen b6, just here anyway, there is the cute trick that bishop c2 you can't really take because of queen d4 check and queen e5. But okay, so queen d2 and then what? Jeez. g5 now. This is next level. Okay, this is the most computer line I've ever seen in my life. I mean, f3, okay, queen b6, bishop c2 computer move. You just play queen d2, okay, which is hideous and kind of has like that weird computer look to it. g5, and like now you play. It was suggesting rook f2 for a second to break the pin, so that queen d4, e5, which is like, come on. What a mess. Okay, e4 is good apparently. I don't understand this position at all, but it's something. Let's annotate this that white is better. Bishop g5, not bad though. And yeah, like I said, queen b6 was critical. I still don't know necessarily what I would have played against this move. I remember thinking during the game that maybe here was possible. And you're just asking how the heck do you get out of this? I didn't see knight h7 though. I mean, even this is quite messy. I guess this is a pretty outrageous game of chess right here. I don't necessarily see why. Black doesn't even really have to take, does he? Yeah, very, very irrational. I really don't have a great answer for these positions, but yeah, after this, he's just losing. I mean, there's no. This is just a gift. Feels. Honestly, I hate to say this, but anytime I play someone in the 15+5 pool who's like unrated except classical and is like provisional rated, it's like, okay, I'm going to lose to a cheater now. So it actually felt pretty good by move 12 to be winning a piece, because at least I knew, unless I was losing immediately, at least I knew I was probably winning. But that's a horrible thing to say. But I'm only a little jumpy, excuse me, because I actually, between what was the last game? The French advanced game, is that rapid game number 71? And this game, I lost to a cheater and I was recording, which like incinerates 45 minutes of my time, which is very annoying. So, anywho. Ooh, queen d4, dang. Yeah, that's strong. That's very strong. This is just, yeah, this move is just lights out. This is much more winning than hitting the bishop, and when you take on f6, it's just a blowout then, because he can't take back. So this was actually a huge technical error. You think you play a nice game, and then Stockfish just really kicks you in the nards. I would never play f3. You could not pay me enough to play f3 here. Okay, so it likes queen g3 eventually. This queen g3 plan in e4 is just very human. And then I'm honestly completely shocked that he took on e4. This move seems so bad. So bad. No offense to thx31. It's just like centralizing that knight is just a tremendously large mistake compared to even just like playing any rook move, like rook b8, rook d8, rook h8, like the very natural rook moves. And then if I take here, you just take with the e-pawn or you take with the queen, and that's much better than having the knight on this square. This is a lot, more of a hassle for black, but okay. So all this is pretty clean. Queen c3 here, knight d6, queen f3 first. Threatening queen f6, obviously. And if f5, then what? Maybe rook. Okay, just here. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And his position just sucks. This is a threat. This is a threat. Maybe just getting in at some point. It's all pretty bad. Knight d6, not too shabby though. I can't imagine that this has to be pretty technically winning. Do I make any horrible errors? I think I got a little bit tied up here. Like, I don't think I played this super precisely, but it also doesn't look like I played it horrible. Like, we did a lot of shuffling, but eventually, yeah, of course, this was a bungle. This move is much better. I don't know what I'd do here. I might have to go back. It's unfortunate, like, this move is quite a bit stronger with this rook on d7, because if he goes here, then knight d7 forces him off the 7th rank. But, yeah, he goes here, and then he has room for this, so. But once you get that first set of rooks off, this is much easier. And I think this plan of a4, knight b5 is just very good and just ends the game. So, yeah, once you're up a piece, and like, a lot of stuff comes off. If black doesn't have a lot of counterplay or a clear way to trade off more pawns, then he's just going to lose. So, whew, it was tense for a second, but yeah, these middle game positions are tricky with like the locked D pawns. The C pawns have already traded. It's like, where do you put your pieces? How do you make progress in this like very static pawn structure? But I think I did okay. H3, very subtle but very strong. So hope you guys enjoyed this game. I have a weird, kind of silly opening theory video coming out relatively soon. And I have some other stuff planned. So hopefully, I think I'm shooting for at least once a week with a video now. I'm kind of trying to commit to YouTube a little bit more lately. Let me know what you think. Again, I do need some graphic design help if you know someone. I don't have anything like crazy in mind. I just want to spiffy up my channel a little bit. So if you have someone, you know someone you're interested, let me know. You could be an integral part of this channel's growth. And what else is more important than that? Helping out a fellow nerd. Okay. All right. Have a good night, guys. Peace.